Hello guys, welcome to the new video. Now, as you can see in this video, I am a little bit to the right. That's because in this video we'll have a ranking. It's a Ballon d'Or ranking. I know it's early. We just got a Ballon d'Or, it seems like, for Dembele. And we are already speculating who's going to be the next one. But that's football for you. People are always talking about Ballon d'Ors, World Cups, Champions Leagues, who's going to win it. So right now, I am actually contemplating who's going to win a Ballon d'Or for this season, even though a lot can change. Now, I'm going to do a top five. Mind you, this top five could be entirely different than at the end of the season. Last season, if I did top five at this point of the season, I don't know if any player would be here. Maybe Rafinha, but PSG was awful in this time of the season last season, and then at the end they won the quadruple or sextuple or something like that. So Dembele won it. We know that deservingly for me. First deserving one in a while. But still, I want to make my top five for now. I really want to see how much it changes by the end of the season. I'll give my reasons for each player. Let's not make this video too long. I don't want to have a lot of videos that are 20 minutes or longer. So this will be like a 10 to 15 minutes video. I'll try. Also, I didn't explain why am I to the right. Here, you're going to see players' heads, pictures of their heads, and stats. Actually, I'll look at the stats for them and display them here. So without further ado, let's go on. Number five is the hardest one, in my opinion, because I think top three is pretty self-explanatory. You already know who's gonna be. Just the order that I'm gonna put them in. I'm gonna explain why. Number four is kind of interesting, but I think it is number four. Number five, there's many contenders now. It could have been Arda Güler. I know Barca fans are going to disagree. Arda has been insane this season. It could have been Declan Rice from Arsenal. It could have been Caicedo even. I think Caicedo is the closest one to that number five position. He's been the best player in Chelsea. He's literally dragging this Chelsea without Cole Palmer, and he's the best center defensive midfielder in the world. Even Bellingham could sneak in there because he's having some great games so far. But I went with Luis Diaz. Also, Elise, his teammate, could have been at number five, but Luis Diaz has just elevated to that level of an elite winger. He scored 11 goals and had 5 assists in 17 games. Now, these are like club stats that I'm showing, so for other players that you'll see on, I mentioned their season nationally so far, but for Luis Diaz, he's been very good for Bayern. Scored 11 goals, 5 assists, almost a goal and assist per game. Not just that, not just the output, not just the statistics that he has. He's so good. He's so electric. Now I don't watch much of the Bundesliga. I don't watch them against smaller teams in Bundesliga. In Champions League, I try to watch them. I watch for highlights as well, like most of football fans. And he is very good. He is very very good, and I think it's deservingly so. Now, is it a question that Liverpool didn't use him enough, or is it a question that he just came from such a strong league, such a hard defense in Premier League to Bundesliga, and now he can dominate? But he has been dominating in Champions League too, so let's not take it away from him. One thing I want to mention here, it's that tackle on Hakimi. It was so stupid. Why do you do that? Like, you can hurt him. I know he wanted to get the ball, but he just injured him for half of the season. Also, Hakimi could be number five as well. I forgot to mention he's the best right back in the world by far. Nobody's close to him. So let's go to the next player, which is Gabriel. Now I know it's a center back, and center backs don't usually get the recognition they deserve, but this guy is getting the recognition because he is impacting almost every game. Defensively, I actually think Saliba is better than him defensively, but he's underrated defensively. Okay, he's a very good center back, very solid Premier League level center back, not just like a mid-table Premier League, a winning side Premier League center back, but that's not the point. Gabriel is one of the, if not the best, Sergio Ramos is there, one of the best headers man in football I've seen so far. It seems like every time I watch Arsenal, they score a goal from corner, and it's always Gabriel. That's why Arsenal is probably the second or the best team in the world right now. They're so dangerous from free kicks, from set pieces. Gabriel is the centerpiece of that. Declan Rice as well, like I mentioned, he could be number five, but Gabriel, so good, so versatile, and just an all-around very impactful and very solid player that I would love to have in my team, to be honest. Next up, number three is Kylian Mbappe. Now, Mbappe was my number one. At the start of the season, he was the best player in the world, and he is the best player in the world by quality. But how he's playing his number three by now? Now he's not playing the position he should be playing. He's a winger. I've already mentioned that. I'll make a video about Xabi Alonso and him not playing him as a winger and not trying him at least as a winger. But still, even as a striker, he scored 19 goals and had 2 assists in 19 games. So that's more than a goal and assist per game. He has every game. He hasn't scored in 2 matches this whole season. And in one match that he didn't score, he scored like 2 goals from miniature offsides. So this man is on a tear, and he is the best player we've seen in the last 10 years, probably. Uh, well, 10 years is a lot, actually. That's 2015, maybe 5 years. So I think Mbappe deserves to be number three. There's a question: will Mbappe ever win a Ballon d'Or? Now, these three that are in top three, I think it only depends on their team and how much they achieve. Each of these three players will win the Ballon d'Or if their team wins a Champions League. So, does Real Madrid have a chance to win a Champions League? I don't know. Not as much as, certainly not as much as one of the teams that I'm going to mention, but I think if Real Madrid does win a Champions League, Mbappe will be maybe not, he will not be a top scorer, but he will be a top scorer in La Liga. He may win the Pichichi even. So no, not but Pichichi. He will probably win, almost certainly a Pichichi, but he may win a Golden Boot even. So that way he can win a Ballon d'Or. But we know how much a World Cup impacts this rating. So that's why I'm saying, like, I would like to see how will this change by the end of the year, 2026, when we get the Ballon d'Or. Either way, let's go to the number two position, which is probably the best player in the world right now by form. Like, he is in the best form. He's playing the best right now. It's Erling Haaland. But he's not number one. I'll tell you why. Erling Haaland is the perfect striker. Like, you don't get a better striker than Haaland. His positioning is as best as he can be. His finishing is as best as it can be. His ball striking, even his hold up play. He's actually a very smart player. If don't listen to people who say Haaland is just like a tapping merchant or stuff. Haaland does much more than that. I mean, you just can't replicate what Haaland is doing right now in this sport. Like, this type of a machine player, this type of a game decider. He is the football team that he plays in. Like, he takes control of that team and he says, "I will decide. I will be the one. From now on, I will be the one to decide." Okay, I'm sorry. He has 22 goals and 2 assists in 19 matches. So this is, like I mentioned, this is just club stats. I think he scored 14 goals in World Cup qualifiers, which is incredible. He is, like, by far the top scorer there. Of course, he scored 7 against Moldova. I can't even remember, but he's just there. He's the best player at his position. No one can touch him at the striker position. Like I said, Mbappe is not a striker. He's not even close to being as good as a striker as a Haaland. Real Madrid should have, like, a question: should we sign Haaland? Because having an Mbappe on a left wing and Haaland as a striker, that would tear Europe up. But let's not get on with Haaland. Now, why is he not number one? He could be, and if he continues like this, if City wins the Champions League, if Norway gets to the semifinals, which they could, Norway is very good this season, I think he could win really, really realistically. He already should have won, but number one is Harry Kane. Now, Bayern, for me, has the biggest chance to win the Champions League. That's why I put Bayern in front of Haaland. Not Bayern, I'm sorry. That's why I put Kane in front of Haaland. So Harry Kane is my number one. And that's just not really the only reason. Of course, that's the biggest reason. I think Bayern is the biggest contender for the Champions League. Arsenal could have a word there, but Bayern is looking so sharp, so good. Everything. Upamecano is playing good. Their midfield, they have this guy Carl. That's a weird name for a great talent. It seems like just another guy, Carl, but he's very good as well. but Harry Kane has elevated this team to another level. He is everything. He is a defender, midfielder, and attacker, passer, dribbler, shooter, headers man, everything. He has everything a football player has to have. And not just that, one of the most underrated things about him is his football IQ. That's one of the best football IQs I've ever seen. Like Thomas Muller is there. So his passing, his knowledge of the game, his instinct to do the right thing, I don't know if you can even train that. You can see he's born to play this. Every time I watch him, I'm just everything he does. It doesn't need to be like a chance created. He can touch the ball, turn around, and pass it somewhere where it's the best way to pass and the best thing to do in that position. It doesn't maybe create a chance, but you can see he knows that's the fact that he knows that that's the best thing to do. The fact that he doesn't without thinking. He already knew he's going to do that. He's so good. I'm gonna glaze Harry Kane for for the rest of my life because I wasn't really familiar with him at Tottenham because I did watch him. Maybe he wasn't playing at this level. Maybe he needed to mature to get into his 30s to become this type of a player. But this is insane. This is one of the best strikers, number nines I've ever seen, and he is playing on that level. And I think Bayern have the biggest chance to win the Champions League. So that's why I think Harry Kane has the biggest chance to win the Ballon d'Or. That's why he's number one. But also, he's in England, and England has a big chance in the World Cup too. So that's why he is my number one, and I think he will be top five. All right, so I think Mbappe, and Haaland won't change from top five. Now, Gabriel or Luis Diaz could change. World Cup could in fact affect that a lot, but let me not yap that much. I hope you agree with my with my ranking, and I hope you agree with the reasons I have Harry Kane number one and Haaland number two and Mbappe number three right now. If you don't, that's all right. Leave a comment. I want to see what you guys think, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye, guys.